Boys and girls, Happy New Year. Wanted to give you guys an update on what I've been doing dietarily, and I use that word dietarily because a lot of people thought it was funny last time. So I think it was August 4th, 2013, I started eating fully raw again, and so it's been 5 months since then, and 5 months and a day. And I wanted to talk about a couple things related to that. I have had a few slip-ups. I know that I was saying I was all raw, and I want to explain that, because, well, I'll explain it. And then I just wanted to talk about the label of fully raw or raw vegan, and why I'm not sure I want to necessarily call myself a raw vegan. So before you're like, oh no, he's punking out, he's going paleo, he's going into two, he's eating eggs, he's taking whey protein. It's none of that. So first off, my slip-ups. I have had 2 or 3 slip-ups. They were accidental. First one was I was at a salad bar, and I had corn on my salad, and thinking back to it, like, just the texture of the corn, it was so soft, there's no way it couldn't have been cooked. I think it was like canned corn or something. I mean, it was cold, but it was like kind of mushy, and so I don't think they just soaked raw corn at like a, regular old salad bar, place. Number 2 was I got a bag of kale chips a couple months ago that said that they were raw on the front, and then when I read the back, it said that they were 95% raw after I'd finished it. So I was pretty pissed about that. So again, like accidental mistake, didn't really realize the time I was doing it. And then lastly, last few weeks over winter break, I had probably 2 to 3 bags of the just veggies and like just corn, just peas stuff. So maybe it was like 4 bags in total. And they don't say that they're raw, but they say that they're freeze-dried, and I thought they were raw, but it turns out that somebody told me that they called the company and they said that they cook them and then they freeze-dry them. So 3 times I had things that I thought were raw at the time, didn't really do my homework on them, and it turned out they weren't. But no, cooked meals or deliberately eating cooked food. And so the last thing I want to touch on is like this whole label of raw vegan. Like, I am a raw vegan. I've always found it kind of silly, honestly, and I think a lot of people use it to sort of like say that they're a level above, like, well, I'm hanging out with these vegans and I'm a raw vegan, or this vegan and this raw vegan. Like, it's just the diet you eat. To me, vegan is a lifestyle. I didn't realize that when I first got into it, but just that whole abstention from anything that harms animals in any way, or doing it to the best of your ability. I think that's a label. Vegan is a label I can identify with. Raw vegan, just like, that's, I don't know, I don't want to call, I eat a raw vegan diet, but I don't think I am a raw vegan. That's like, I think it's just silly. I'll keep the label vegan, and I'll say I'm currently eating a raw vegan diet. And like I said when I started, like, that could change, something could happen, I could go back to cooked foods. Heck, I had 3 times where I thought I was eating raw and just wasn't, careful with it, and it turned out I definitely wasn't 2 of the times, and probably wasn't the 3rd time. And, it's life, and you move on, and so I guess I'm like eating a raw vegan diet, or at least to the best of my ability, and that's what I'm going to go with. And I would just say continue to be careful with labels, because as the youth of today say, they divide, break down the walls, I don't know, I think labels are kind of silly. They just, like, I think part of it really created that whole divide in the raw food community, with like, well, we're the raw till 4, and then the fully raw, well, they're the elitists. They're all descended from Ecuadorian dictators, and they rob people to get all their fruit because fruit's expensive. And like, you know, it's like, why are we having a war? Just if we didn't have these labels, there would be no way to divide, you know, the us versus them. So I'm just a vegan. I'm in the same boat with all vegans. Heck, I'm in the same boat with everybody. I don't want to say that I'm better than somebody who's not a vegan, whether they, you know any better or not. So just, yeah, be careful of labels, people.